Hi, my name is Kwaku. I was born and raised in Ghana. I'm currently here in Memphis working for Hilton Worldwide as a user experience architect. I'm also the co-founder of Juma Inc., which is a startup dedicated to using technology to help businesses in sub-Saharan Africa hire smarter and also faster. So the name of the startup is Juma, and basically it was formed in many ways in response to the challenges of human capital development in sub-Saharan Africa. And our approach was to see if we could leverage technology, digital technology to enhance the hiring processes for businesses and millions of job seekers, and to see if that will have any impact at all on labor market dynamics. So that's what we set about doing. We built a cloud-based applicant tracking system that uses a proprietary machine learning algorithm that we designed ourselves to basically help businesses and employers immediately identify which candidates stand out the strongest in their applicant pool. It is important to note that because of high unemployment in many African countries, typically what happens when it's time to hire is that a business will list their job somewhere online and immediately receive hundreds of resumes sent in via email, typically, and that creates a very cumbersome process for the business to then go through and try to sort out who fits what they're looking for best. And so as a shortcut, lots of businesses are not even looking at who's applying altogether and going directly for referrals. And in many cases, it's actually hurting qualified applicants whose resumes get lost in the piles of resumes employers have to deal with. And so our solution was, what if we could help employers cut down on the amount of paperwork being sent in for the jobs and immediately hire the right people? Will that have a net effect across an entire country, across an entire sub-region on the unemployment rate? So we launched currently operational in Ghana and Nigeria. We launched in 2015, that's when we had our big launch there. Immediately grew to serve over 200 small businesses in the initial phase. And in terms of number of applicants that our resume has processed, you're looking at upwards of about 3,000. So it's still, I consider things to still be very much in the initial phases, but we're very optimistic about the future and about what we can achieve. And for us, the key thing is to think of this very much in terms of as a social enterprise, and think of the social impact that we're having. So 2017 is shaping up to be a very exciting year. We've spent the past few months working on a complete overhaul and redesign of our platform, and we're looking forward to launching the new platform, the upgraded version, in 2017. I would say for me, I really began to think about the bigger problems that we're trying to solve here. Right around my junior year at Wesleyan University, I was an economics major, and it was in one of my classes on economics of developing countries that I began to think deeply about labor market dynamics and exactly how technology can be leveraged to improve things. And so that was about 2013, and that was the first big step. Of course, jumping from the idea to having a product meant that I had to teach myself a lot of new skills that I didn't have. Quickly had to learn design, how to design a product, how to design software, some amount of computer programming, and then being able to learn how to pitch my idea to people, get them excited about it, so they can come on board and contribute their skills. And it was through all that I was able to find 6 co-founders who were very passionate about this like I was, and who came in with their different skill sets to help build this product and launch it. So yeah, and along the way, some of the other skills I've picked up on are with regards to business, learning how to build a company, run a company, marketing, for example, ads, learning what makes a good ad, developing different business strategies to try and launch this product and make it take off. I would say we failed on so many levels to get to this point where we have a product that's out there, that's being used. There are failures in terms of raising funds to be able to launch this company. Lessons we learned along the way with regards to how to pitch to investors, for example, how to present a compelling case for funding. Then there were failures with the product itself, product design. Our initial prototype that we built and put to market to test with flopped completely. And that required us, going back to the drawing board and completely rethinking our entire product strategy, rethinking how the product should work, taking away certain features we are built in that we thought will be needed by the market and introducing new things that we didn't realize that people were going to need. And so, yeah, those were some of the failures we encountered. Launching a product and see it not take off, not grow at all was definitely challenging. And after we took some time to rebuild the entire product and launched summer of last year, we were able to see a turnaround, see encouraging growth and to now be in 2 countries with the hopes of expanding to more next year. It's definitely been a learning experience. What I would say is I am someone who taught himself computer programming and software design. I didn't study it in school. What I would say is it's a lot harder than you actually think it's going to be, but it's also a lot more rewarding once you get to that level where you're able to work on something and build a product and it works. Advice I'll give them is take school seriously. Start looking online for tutorials that are out there. There are lots and lots of different sites these days that teach you programming. Code Academy is one of them. Start playing around with those sites. Start learning as much as you can. And most important thing is practice. To be good at anything in life, you need to put in a lot of practice. My advice for upcoming programmers and people who are interested in it is make sure you write code every day. Even if it's only 30 minutes of programming, you do it every day. Make sure that you're getting in your practice. That's the only way you're able to get good.